What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to Newswave. It was a pretty good weekend overall. Got to play some Dragon Ball FighterZ, had a lot of fun with that. And I checked out more of Project Octopath. Let me know what you guys played over the weekend, of course. And we also did an unboxing for the Metroid 3DS Samus Returns Edition. If you're not already entered, check the link in the description. Get entered so you can possibly win that new 3DS XL. There's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today, including this whole situation with NBA 2K and the Nintendo Switch with its memory situation. So let's get started. Now, if you missed it, this weird thing is going on with NBA 2K where they told us we needed a memory card, and we were kind of on the thought of, okay, I guess we need one, but how large can this game really be on the Switch? Well, apparently, overall, it's going to take up more than what's actually available on the Switch. And I think a lot of us assumed it would be somewhere in that neighborhood, but I don't think any of us were really ready for, well, the size of the save file. It's 5 gigabytes. Not only that, they decided to use apparently the smallest cartridge possible because the actual game itself is about 6.8 gigabytes, which will fit on an 8 gigabyte card. Now, when that physical copy does come out, you'll still need to download a massive amount of space, and then you need to make room on your system for 5 gigabytes of space. That's right, because it's a save file, and Nintendo hasn't really figured out how to transfer save files yet, or at least released it to us, well, you have to keep that 5 gigabytes on your actual system memory, which is a bit of an issue considering there's roughly 26 gigabytes available after it formats and keeps some of that space for system resources, updates, things like that, like pretty much any system does. Well, you have to take 5 gigabytes of that into account. Then you have to really think that's a lot of space for a save file, considering a lot of Nintendo's first-party lineup comes in underneath of that now, with games like Mario Kart and Zelda being really the exception to the rule of that, being larger than that save file. Other games like ARMS, Splatoon 2, for example, Mario Rabbids, all much smaller than that 5 gigabytes. And now even we hear about Mario Odyssey being 5.7 gigabytes, so it's 0.7 gigabytes more than the save file for NBA 2K18, and it seems very odd. Now, a lot of people were thinking, well, you know what, with this whole download thing, they should have released at least a physical copy and really ate the cost of the 32 gigabyte card. Let's say they release that and everything is on there, you don't have to worry about it. Maybe they could even somehow store really save files on there. I don't know how that's possible. The whole thing with that's more Nintendo's end. They need to figure out a way to have us put really our saves on our SD card or even a USB stick. I don't know, just ways to back up our saves. I think we all have that in the back of our minds all the time. What happens if our Switch just doesn't turn on anymore? Is my Breath of the Wild save file just gone for good? Because that's how it seems right now. Now back to the game card itself and why they're not using a 32 gigabyte card. Now this also explains why something like LA Noire is actually $10 more on the Switch. According to Daniel Ahmed on Twitter, who's an insider analyst, it looks like it costs 60% more to go from, say, an 8 gigabyte card to a 32 gigabyte card when compared to the PS4 and the Xbox One Blu-rays. In order to keep your margins around that, you need to have an 8 gigabyte card, no more. If you get up to like a 32 gig card, you end up spending a lot more money, a lot more cost, and you either have to drop down to the 8 gigabyte card, have us download stuff, or have us, the consumer, eat the cost by charging us $10 more, as we're seeing with LA Noire. It's two different strategies right now. NBA 2K putting it on the smallest cart they can find, having us download a good chunk of it, or LA Noire having us pay for really the difference in cost of manufacturing. So really here we are with this weird situation. The Switch isn't going to have a hard drive in it, obviously, and 32 gigabytes seems to be as high as they can make it without having to increase the cost. And would you have bought a Switch if, let's say it was 400 and had 128 gigabytes of onboard memory, or would you have preferred it to be 300 and put your own micro SD card in there? That's kind of the question that a lot of people are split on right now. Some people are saying it's not a big deal, although the internal storage is kind of hamstringing some games. I mean, it's really making it difficult to put the game on a card or have you download it without you having your own micro SD card. So yeah, most people have to go out and buy a micro SD card when they get a Switch because these third-party games aren't going to spend that much time compressing and figuring all this stuff out. It just doesn't make sense to them right now to spend that much time. They'd rather push, at that point, the burden off to the consumer and have us figure it out. Although I still don't understand this whole 5 gigabyte save file thing. It sounds crazy that you need 5 gigs of space on your system allotted for a save file with, I guess, your created character. And it sounds crazy. I think that's because it is. Either way, Nintendo needs to hit us with some way to back up our storage. Even a cloud save seems crazy because then you have to upload 5 gigabytes to save your career and stuff on NBA. I don't like that. I say just give us a way to back up either to the SD card or a USB stick through the dock where it's encrypted. or just give us the ability to use even a portable hard drive as an option for those who really don't move around with their Switch much, because there are a lot of people who never take it off the dock, and they probably look at their portable hard drive and then look at their dock and can't figure out why it won't work together. I don't know, it's a weird situation. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing with NBA, 5 GB save files, really save file management in general on the Switch, and this game card issue where it just costs so much money. What are your guys' thoughts here? Next up, let's talk about an interesting development with the Sonic 2 HD game. Now, if you're not aware of this is a game that's been in the making for a while now, and it kind of disappeared about 9 months or so. That was the last time they posted on their YouTube channel where they were doing some behind the scenes stuff. This game is supposed to be kind of an HD adaptation or remake of Sonic 2 from the Genesis, and according to them, made by fans for fans. So it's one of those projects where it's a completely fan-made game, and a lot of people have been worried about cease and desist. In fact, that's kind of where a lot of people figured this game disappeared to, maybe got a cease and desist order. Does not appear to be the case, because a couple days ago, a new trailer pops up on YouTube, and it looks like they are set for their first demo at the end of this month. And that demo is going to air September 30th. You can download it. It's their 2.0 demo. But this game looks interesting. It really is a new adaptation of Sonic 2, new art style. The game, I think, looks pretty cool. It definitely looks more unique than some of the other fan-made projects you see. It looks more high quality. Others seem kind of on the other side, saying it looks more like a Flash game I've seen, or just the backgrounds look odd. It just looks like more Sonic. Looks like they're taking Sonic 2 and kind of revamping it for, well, obviously newer systems that can really push out better visuals than what we had, back in the 90s. And of course, it looks very smooth. I'm going to try this demo out. We'll probably do a Let's Play video, a Spawn Wave Plays video as well, so we can see how well it runs and how it plays and everything. But so far, that demo video has accumulated over 200,000 views on YouTube, and it looks like people are really into Sonic right now after Sonic Mania. And now, of course, the question is, does Sega act legally and provide them with one of those nice pieces of paper that says, stop developing this game because we're trying to sell Sonic Mania over here? I guess we'll have to see, but right now we're at least poised for a demo later on. Next up, let's talk about the game of the weekend. You know what I'm talking about if you're trying to play the beta of Dragon Ball FighterZ. That game was all over the internet because it looks awesome. I'm excited for it. I'm not a big fighting game person. I did play it over the weekend and had a pretty good time with it. It's definitely for more hardcore fighting fans, and of course it's a little easier for some to play because it uses the traditional controls of like Street Fighter, where it's like, down to forward, fire, things like that. But what's cool here is it looks like they're trying to morph a completely original story, and we did get a look at a completely original character that's designed just for this game in the latest scans from V-Jump. Now, we did find out it's going to have Yamcha, it's going to have Tien, and it's going to have Chaozu. Chaozu is going to be more of a support character, but both Tien and Yamcha will be fully playable, and the new character, Android 21, will apparently be integral for the story. Now, if you don't know, the story is going to be all about Android 16. It's going to follow his path, his journey through a what-if scenario, apparently, which sounds awesome because I like original stories in some of these games rather than just, retelling the same thing we've watched on TV since the 90s. Give us something new, original, and fresh. I like the what-if stories because they could take more chances, take more risks because, well, it's not going to affect the canon storylines. They could kill off characters. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff if they want. But it looks like we also have Tien and Yamcha. Tien using his Neo Tri-Beam. Of course, Yamcha using his Wolfang Fist. So it looks like we're set to have a pretty good roster overall. They're still revealing characters, so I'm sure we'll see even new people. They even made mention that they may really look into maybe Super Saiyan 4 characters and some DLC down the road. Really, at this point, nothing's off the table from what they've said, and it's exciting. If you're either a fighting fan or a Dragon Ball fan or both, you have to be super excited for the beginning of 2018 when this game comes out. Next up, we got more news around Doom for the Nintendo Switch. Now, Doom is probably going to be an evolving story up until it comes out for the Switch because it's so interesting to gamers to have this game on the go on the Switch. A system that a lot of people wrote off as not being able to handle these AAA games like a Doom, like a Wolfenstein 2, but here comes Doom at the end of this year, so it's soon, and it looks like Bethesda has kind of reached out to gamers and said, hey, this is a custom-built version of the game. It's not going to be one-to-one, saying this. Doom on Switch is custom-built for the hardware, and while graphics won't be one-to-one with other platforms, the game will deliver the amazing Doom look and feel that fans are excited to get on the Switch. Now, you may have taken one word from that entire quote, like I did when I saw it, and that's feel, because we don't know if it's 60 frames per second yet, but when they say feel, that tells me that, well, when I play Doom, the one that's on the Xbox One, the PS4, PS4, PC, I expect a 60 frames per second experience, maybe more with the PC, but I at least expect that very smooth experience. And it looks like by doing a custom build for the Switch, I have a strong feeling they are shooting for 60 frames per second, which would be absolutely insane. Sure, it's not going to look as good. We've all come to terms with this, but you're going to play it on the go, and it looks like it's going to keep the same feel and the same idea overall. Of course, it's missing the snap map editor and everything from what they've said, but we can see that it's going to be apparently a fully fleshed out version of Doom with hopefully decent visuals and a really solid feeling Doom experience. I'm excited to get a little more information about this. Hopefully by next week we start to see some people come out and tell us about their experiences with it, because I believe there was an event. I've seen other people in the media say that they can't talk about it now, but there was an event that apparently happened. I saw this on Kind of Funny Games. They were talking about it, and I've reached out to some other people. We will hear some Doom information probably at some point next week or something about this game, and I'm excited to hear people's experiences with it. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me think about any of the stuff we talked about today, whether it is the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta and the new characters they announced. Did you get a chance to play it, and did you like it? I thought it was a lot of fun. I think it has a ton of potential at like competitions and stuff coming up. I would fully expect it to see something at EVO, for example. And I can't wait to see the future of some of the downloadable characters. And really, if ArcSys can get it to go to other systems like the Switch, for example, I think the Switch can run it. It's going to come down to if they can get it ported within a timely fashion inside their studios. Also, let me think about the Switch's, really it's memory issues going on right now. NBA 2K can't apparently fit on it from start to finish. If you download it digitally, you need that memory card. Not only is it going to take up some of your SD card, it's going to take up 5 gigabytes of your internal storage. Now, there's a lot of people to blame here, but where do you think the blame mostly lies? Do you think it really lies on 2K for not optimizing their stuff further? Or do you think it's on Nintendo for not including more than 32 gigabytes in their system and really maybe figuring out a way to provide either a cost-cutting measure for carts to developers? Maybe they take a cut as well. Maybe they get a 16 gig cart out there and they both kind of eat the cost. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.